Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about dealing with road rage, and this is at the request of one of my viewers. Now, I have done videos in the past where I talk about the tactics of defending yourself from inside of a vehicle. You should check those videos out. Just search my channel name and car shooting or vehicle defense. It's something along those lines, and older videos should pop up. But in this video, we're going to kind of talk more about the larger picture, the more strategic picture on how to deal with a road rage type of situation. Now, the first thing, right? First item on that line, the first thing to be aware of with road rage is stay calm. Okay, that's the most important thing, and that's a lot of the stuff is going to apply to any self-defense type of situation, but especially in a road rage type of situation, stay calm. Okay, two reasons. First reason, if you're calm, you'll be able to make better decisions. Okay, whatever your skill level is, you will be able to perform at your higher skill level. Okay, I've over the years as a range safety officer, I've interacted with a lot of guys that came back from combat, and through talking to them, they all more or less told me that under fire, they try to stay calm and think, okay, and think their way through the problem, figure out what's happening and what they need to do in order to respond to it. So you're going to do that a lot better if you're calm. From my personal experience, I've done some light boxing in the past. I've coached boxing. I'm also, for about 16 years, I've done competitive medieval combat. I've posted videos where I got armor on and basically we're hitting each other back and forth with baseball bats. So I never fight angry, okay? I always fight thinking, okay, what's the other person doing? What do I need to do to that person to win this, okay? So you fight, you fight smart, okay? You never fight angry. Fighting angry, more likely to lose rather than win, right? By fighting angry. So that's what, stay calm. Now, aside from you performing better and thinking better if you're calm, the other important thing to consider here is that, it might not just be the other person that's experiencing road rage. You might also be experiencing road rage. And listen, we've all been angry at times when we've been driving, okay? So, we've all been there. Obviously, we're not to the level where maybe we got ourselves in trouble, but we've all been angry at one time or another while we were driving, okay? So here's the thing. If you are experiencing some serious road rage yourself, you're almost never going to be able to say, hey, wait, I feel road rage coming on. I better calm myself down. So that's just not going to happen. The way that you're going to take control of that situation is say, hey, listen, I see a situation here that's escalating. I need to calm myself down and think what I need to do and see how things are developing. Okay, so that's how you bring yourself from a situation where you think you're getting angry, you bring yourself back to a situation where you can better defend yourself and make better decisions by staying calm. So there's a dual benefit to this, right? Make better decisions, and also if you are part of the problem, there's less chance that you're going to continue to feed the problem, because the way it works is usually if you got two people that are angry, they kind of feed each other, right? So one guy's angry, then this guy gets angry. So this guy sees that guy getting angry, so he gets angrier, and then this guy gets angrier, and this guy, and then they're, So if you got two people that are, getting more and more angry at each other, there's more and more of a chance that they're going to get into a physical conflict. So if one person decides they're not going to be angry, then the other person might calm down. Not necessarily, but they might calm down, okay? So a lot of benefit to staying calm in that type of situation. Now, next most important thing, stay inside of your car, okay? Don't get out of your car. Don't go over to the other car to see what the problem is, okay? Or why that person, and obviously we're talking about a situation where somebody is really screaming, yelling, cursing, so that there's something seriously going on in this person's head. Don't get out of your car. Two reasons for that, right? Two reasons. Number one, your car gives you a physical defense, right? Just the body of the car physically protects you. And secondly, that you have additional legal protections by staying inside of your car. It's just like being inside your house. If somebody breaks into your house to attack you, okay, it's a lot easier for you to justify having to defend yourself, right? Versus being outside of your house. Now, granted, yeah, there's plenty of situations where you would need to defend yourself outside the house, but it's easier legally, having to explain why you needed to defend yourself inside of your house, and especially if there's evidence of a break-in. Okay, same deal with your car, right? If you're inside your car, right, you clearly belong in your car. That person clearly does not belong in your car. If they're breaking into your car, right, trying to drag you out, it's a lot easier for you or for your attorney to prove that that person was the aggressor and not you. Okay, so that's why you stay in your car, right? Don't get, you have the benefit of the physical protection of the car, and you also have the benefit of the legal protection from staying inside of your car, just as if you were staying inside of your home. Okay. Now you're in the car that's mobile. It's got wheels. Okay. So if there's a problem developing, drive away from the problem. Now, of course, I'm not talking about hit and run type of situation here, but if there's a problem developing, all right, that hasn't, where it hasn't reached to the point where there's actual fighting or hitting or anything like that going on yet, where the police would have to be called to the scene, get in your car and drive away. So that's gonna, that's gonna probably make the problem go away, right? If you just drive, if you get yourself away from the problem, that's probably gonna solve the problem. Okay. Now, what if this person pursues you? Okay, you get in the car and now they're following you, and this is something I've heard of this plenty of times. Somebody, so this is not uncommon. Well, it is most likely that this person now that's pursuing you, they're really angry, they're cursing. You can see them in the back in the mirror, they're cursing at you. It's very likely that after 5 minutes of following you, right, especially if you're driving, at a calm pace, they're gonna calm themselves down, and they're gonna basically stop following you and go back to doing whatever they were planning to do that day. Okay, so if somebody's following you after a situation where it appears like they're going through, or at least we're going through some road rage, if you can get away from a situation, get away from it. If they follow you, stay calm, see how that develops. If it keeps happening, hey, you got a cell phone, call 911, or you drive yourself over to a police station. But chances are they're going to calm down, right? That's what normally happens. Now, what about a situation where they block you, right? They intentionally block you. Well, same deal. Stay inside your car, right? Don't try to attack their car with your car, right? Don't crash into them intentionally, all right? Stay in your car. If they stay in their car, everything's cool. Eventually they're gonna get tired of sitting there looking at you, and they're gonna curse at you one last time and drive away. Okay. So that's how you kind of deal with a situation where they're blocking you. Okay. Just stay in your car. You have you have the physical defense of your car. You have the legal defense of being inside of your car, right? So take that to your advantage. Take that advantage. All right. So now, what if we're in a situation where you can't get away? The situation seems to be escalating, right? So you sit in your car. Well, here's the thing. First of all, before I get into that, there's 3 types of self-defense type of situations. Okay. So one situation is where you're ambushed, right? No preparation. You just have to respond, okay? Right? No preparation. You didn't know, basically you're coming around a corner, somebody, 1 or 2 guys just jump on you. You got no opportunity to plan for that. Okay? The other situation is where you have lots of time to plan and prepare, okay? Situation where somebody's breaking into your house, they're outside your house lining up Molotov cocktails, right? You can see they got a whole line of bottles over there, right? So you have plenty of time to think what's happening, what are you going to do, where do you want to position yourself, so right. So now the other type of situation is where you have escalation, which is most likely going to be the road rage type of situation. There's going to be escalation, and that's probably the most common type of conflict that people have. It usually goes from talking to screaming and cursing, maybe fists, maybe weapons. Okay. Usually it doesn't get past it doesn't go beyond the screaming and cursing. 2 people screaming and cursing, they at some point they kind of realize that, hey, this is not worth it, and they both kind of walk away from each other. Okay, that among adults, that's what usually happens. Okay, so here's the thing, in a situation where things are escalating, okay, you've now got time to plan and prepare, right? So you've got time to, like, if you're outdoors, you have time. Hey, listen, the situation that's escalating. Maybe I can back up, get closer to that tree over there. So maybe I can use that tree for cover. Maybe get on the phone, call 911. So you got some time to plan and prepare. So same deal here. You're inside your car. You see a situation that's escalating. You've got some time to do some planning and preparing here, right? So again, you want to stay inside your car, but from inside your car, you can observe, you can look around. Where's that person? Where are you? Where are the other people around you? What direction would it be safe to shoot in or not safe to shoot in? So these are all things that you're thinking about, right? You've got time to plan and prepare. Maybe lock your doors, right? Make sure your doors are locked, windows are up. All right, this way, I mean, how much is a window gonna protect you? Well, listen, a broken window is evidence of aggression, right? So you put your window up so that, yeah, if they break it, now, you got one more piece of evidence that they were the aggressor, right? These are all things that you can start planning while the situation is escalating, okay? So we make our plan. Now, one of the things that we gotta be very well aware of is that we are responsible for every bullet, okay? So again, this part of our observation, where are the people around you. Now, most likely, if a person is going to attack you, they're probably gonna run right up to your driver's seat, right? So let's talk about now some of the tactics. We'll point the camera down a little bit. Point the camera down a little bit. So put my ears on here. So this is actually a pretty good setup here, because I got this board here, which kind of approximates like the back of the seat. Because if you turn around in your car seat, you may not be able to see directly behind you because of the headrest of your car seat, but you can kind of look around it on either side. Right? You can look around it, and also I've got that post here from this tent. That can kind of resemble the pillars, right? The A, B, and C pillar of your car, right? That you got to be aware of where they are. But in the most likely situation where somebody comes up to your window, smashes your window, and reaches in, all right? Let's say they got a knife. So it's clearly a situation where you got to use a gun to defend yourself. They're reaching in, they're trying to cut your throat with a knife. Maybe we didn't get a chance to fully see where all the other people are around you. Well, one of the options, first of all, in this type of situation, you're in a position where you can angle the gun down, right? So this is one of the things I practice now. This is a general thing. If you're in a grappling type of situation, which this is, and I've talked about gun grappling before, so again, search my channel name and gun grappling, you'll see the prior video. One hand's low, other hand's high, right? Or one hand's high, the other hand's low. So the two hands are never on the same line, so you don't shoot your hand, okay? So situation, they're coming in, this hand can come up, and it can shoot down like this. The bullets are going down into the ground. They're not going to travel further out. So that's a kind of an ideal situation where you're kind of up close. You're in a position to angle the gun down. And again, this is something you got to think about. This is in the observation phase. These are the things that we're thinking about, okay? If I have to defend myself, first of all, can I drive away? Can I not drive away? Am I blocked in? If I can't drive away, they come in. How can I handle this situation? Now, let's say where they're actually shooting at you, okay? First of all, you can shoot through glass, okay? If you're shooting through the front windshield, the bullets tend to angle up a little bit. So if you're shooting somebody in the belly, they'll come higher up to the chest, right? So basically, if you're going through your front windshield, you got to aim a little bit lower, right? So the bullets can rise up when they go through the glass. The other windows on the sides and in the back, they basically shatter when they're hit. So after the first shot, there's not going to be a window there, okay? So the second shot's going to be a clear shot. So the tactics of being able to shoot to the sides, first of all, two hands on the gun, right? Come out, you come over the top here, two hands on the gun. I can basically keep it, again, I'm in a car seat, right? Legs forward, I can angle back. I can take my shot. If I need to go around to the other side, switch hands, right? You can come around, lean over a little bit. Now I got to lean over a little bit more. So whether I'm righty or lefty depends on what I need to be. Okay, there's a reason why I tell people train lefty and righty. because in certain situations, if I need to shoot to that side, I'm a righty. If I need to shoot to this side, I'm a lefty, okay? One of the things, now this is something that needs to be practiced, because in this situation where I'm reaching back, obviously I don't have the same grip on the gun that I normally get, that I would normally have if I was standing. So it's very easy to limp wrist the gun and jam it, okay? So you gotta practice this type of shooting, right? Switching hands, going all the way around, especially in your offhand, right? So that you can fire the gun and not jam it. Now, if you jam it, unjam it, okay? So do a tap, rack. Sometimes you might get a really bad jam where you got, lock the gun open, pull the magazine in, put it back in, rack it again. All these, you got to do this with your guns. Some guns are more prone to jamming if you're trying to shoot them in this position. The reason I know is because I've actually put people in this situation and basically have them run through these exercises. Even factory guns, right? Even factory guns. A lot of them, when you're holding it in this position like this, trying to shoot behind you, a lot of factory guns, they'll jam up, because in order for the gun to work, the bottom part of the gun, right, the frame has to stay steady while the slide's going back and forth. If the whole gun's moving around, it's going to jam up, right? Or it's more prone to jamming up. And I don't care. That's just how semi-automatic guns work. Okay. So let me stand up. All right. So again, going back to responsible for every bullet. So during that escalation phase, we had to look around and see where the other people were. And there might be, now of course if we're shooting over there, there better be bullets coming in first, right? Because otherwise that's going to be really hard to defend why you needed to shoot somebody from inside your car all the way over there. They pretty much have to be shooting at you first. In which case, if they start shooting, the other people are going to start taking some cover. So so that there'll be less of a chance of you hitting somebody, but it's still a possibility. Okay, so always got to be aware of your surroundings. The only way you're going to develop that type of a skill is to get on a 3D range, right? Like a place like this, for example, where I can shoot 360 degrees. And a place that has, you got to get to multiple locations, because if you're only working on one gun range, even if it's a 360 degree gun range, you get used to it. If you get put in a different type of situation, you may not adjust as easy. So that's one of the reasons why I train at a lot of different locations, a lot of different 360 degree ranges, so I can get used to this idea of being able to adjust, on the fly, observe, right? Because if you're training on a range where you know where everything is, you're less likely to actually observe and look and see where things are. Okay, so like one of the things I'll do with people when I train them is I'll move targets around, right? I'll move things around, so people, they aren't always in the same spot. Okay. So anyway, those are the tactics. Now, another very important thing, right? You learn to fight with your fists, right? You need to develop a non-lethal option. Okay, this is really important. Okay, if somebody spits on you or bitch slaps you, you can't shoot them. Okay, they're spitting on you is not the same as trying to kill you. Okay, somebody slapping at you or twinging your nose like this, that's not trying to kill you, right? If you shoot that person for that, you're gonna basically get convicted of a murder. Okay, all right. So now, if somebody is spitting at you, slapping at you, doing these type of things, obviously you need to answer that, right? You can't have people just spitting on you. So you need a non-lethal option. You need to be able to use your hands, to stand your ground, basically, right? You can't go around with people spitting and slapping you, right? So you gotta be able to stand your ground, right? I don't think I need to explain that any further. So you gotta learn to use your fists. One of the great things I tell people, get into some boxing classes, right? The great thing about boxing is they're actually hitting each other, right? Now we've got padded helmets on, we're using padded gloves. Usually with the beginners, we start off really light. Like I've actually been in the boxing ring with women, right? I used to train them. I used to hit them, really lightly. Not enough to knock them out or anything, but enough so that they can kind of get used to getting hit and to continue to function under that. Okay. So you've got to develop the ability to be able to take a hit and keep going. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, whatever you are. You've got to develop a non-lethal option. You got to learn to fight with your hands. But it's not enough to just take self-defense classes where you're just going through forms, right? You got to actually get into a situation where you are getting hit, not getting knocked out, but getting hit. You know, at least to the point where you're getting stunned a little bit, and you have to work through that, right, and continue to function and think, and you know, and you know, keep doing the things that you need to do. Okay, so that's really important. Definitely recommend boxing classes for people. It doesn't have to be just boxing. There's other things out there, you know, but that's just an example. One of the things I like about boxing is it's pretty easy to teach, right? Because you know, we're mostly standing on our feet, you know, keeping the hands on. It's very practical, right? In that sense. When you start getting into stuff that involves kicking and stuff like that, the thing with kicking is it's really easy to come off balance. Kicking is very effective, and I had a gym where people used to teach Muay Thai. They were really good at it. But you know, when it comes to kicking, you gotta be really good at it. You know, you gotta know how to generate force from the hip. Not something I can do at my age. I don't have that flexibility. So that's why boxing is usually a good place to start teaching people to use their fists and not just throw a punch, but also take a punch, right? And keep working through that. Okay. Lastly, let me leave you guys with this. There's really no, in this society, in our society, right? There's no winning a gunfight. Okay. So here's the thing: if you find yourself in a situation where you have to use deadly force, okay, chances are you're gonna have to. Good chance you may have to defend yourself in court. It might get expensive. Through that process, you may lose your job. Not because they're firing you because you were involved in that situation, but simply because you're busy in court or you're busy, you know, with your lawyers. You're not at work doing your job, and they need somebody to do the job, so they're just going to replace you. Okay. So if you get into a gunfight type situation, you can, in this society, you can lose your job, you can lose your family, right? There's one of the things that a lot of times is not talked about is in the self-defense type of situation, even if you end up being acquitted by a court, the family a lot of times is broken up. The wife, you know, there's a lot of stress that occurs in the family. So the family ends up not being the same after. Okay, so that's really important to consider. So that's why you definitely want to avoid a gunfight situation at all costs. The thing to understand is, here's the thing: if you get into a gunfight, and even if you win, okay, they're not going to make you the regional warlord. Okay, you're not going to win anything. There's no prize. There's nothing. You don't win anything. Under the very best circumstances, you get to continue living your life the way you were living, right? You're not going to get like a Hollywood contract or something, right? It's not going to happen. It just doesn't happen in real life. So under the very best circumstances, you're going to get to continue your life the way you were doing it. That's probably a 1% chance. Most likely, you're going to come out of that damaged in some way, if not physically, then mentally, right? Or with damage to your family or damage to your career. So you really want to do everything that you can to avoid getting in that type of situation, right? That's how it is in this society. Now, if you were out in Somalia somewhere, yeah, maybe you get a prize or something, right? If you win a gunfight, but that's not what happens in this country, all right? So that's why stay calm, stay in your car, drive away from the problem, okay? And if you do have to defend yourself, at least try as much as possible. Try to defend yourself from inside of your car. So thanks for watching. Drop some comments below if you disagree with any of this. By all means, let me know. If you got anything to add, please let me know. I mean, chances are I might have left something out, but yeah, definitely take any suggestions you guys have to offer. Any alternative ideas, by all means, you know, let me have them. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Make sure you're watching me on Odysee. That's the uncensored, non-YouTube channel. All right, move this camera up. So the way that's spelled Odysee is ODYSEE. All right, Odysee.com. And look for my channel name, Pocono Tactical. Okay, that's how you'll find me there. That's an uncensored channel. And also, I also have other channels on YouTube, Absolute Guns, and Pocono shooting, just because I always seem to be getting strikes and demerits and suspensions and all that kind of stuff. So talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.